Hey y'all, howdy. How are you all doing today? Today is Tuesday. Today is December 9th. I'm working from home today. I'm off from my part-time job, thank God. I was off yesterday as well. I am trying to catch up with emails. So today, the rest of today, tonight, I'll be working on, just trying to get caught up, trying to get my emails organized, trying to find some type of work balance, which I feel like I've been doing this ever since December 1st. I'm just all over the place whenever it comes to my full time. It's like there's not enough time in the day for me to be able to work and then also have a peace of mind, like watch some TV or whatever without having work on the brain and a list of things to do on the brain. What I wanted to get on here and talk about it's crazy because I was at work at Ollie's and a customer comes in, right? And so a customer overhears me talking to somebody else that I work with at my full-time job. So the lady that I was talking to, she was like, "Christy, how long you been there?" Because I just hit my 10 years. And I was like, I hit my 8 years in August. And she was like, "Congratulations." And we both fist bump or whatever. And she was actually, when I started, she was actually the one of the helpers in my training class or whatever when I started back in 2017. So we fist bump or whatever, and we were just talking about it. And we were talking about, our bonus and all this stuff, and trying to see what they're going to do in 2026 because a lot of changes are coming and just so on, just talking. Then she finally left or whatever until the next people came up, and it was a guy. It's always the guys that kind of strike up. It's crazy because the ladies have, a different approach than the guys, and the guys have an approach. The guys, a lot of the times the guys are more genuine about it, and then the ladies can come off a little jealous about it. So let me tell you about the guy. So the guy overheard, and he was like, "Dang, girl, you working 2 jobs?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "So how long are you here for?" And I was like, "I'm here until closing." He was like, "Sheesh, do you ever have time for yourself? Do you ever have time for yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah, I try to make time or whatever." And then he was just laughing or whatever. And he was like, save some jobs for the rest of us. And I was like, you know what? It's funny that you say that because no one wants to work. And he was like, that is so right. I was like, no one wants to work. So I don't believe, I cannot believe the saying that, oh, they're taking our jobs, they're taking jobs away from Americans and all that. I can't believe that. I can't believe that because no one wants to work. I would understand if everybody was wanting to work, no matter the job, trying to make money and all this, but no one wants to work. Y'all, I went in McDonald's. Oh my gosh. I promised my son a Happy Meal. I promised him McDonald's. I was like, "Hey, if you do good in school today, today is Friday, McDonald's time." So he's like, "Okay." So then he gets in the car when I pick him up and he's like, "I want McDonald's." So I take him to McDonald's. Y'all, I waited in that line for 1 hour and 10 minutes. And I waited in that line because I didn't want to disappoint my kid. I promised him McDonald's. He was in the back seat happy, didn't care about time. But I was like, I've never been in a McDonald's line for 1 hour and 10 minutes. So, I finally make it up to the window and I'm like, I have a question. He was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Are y'all shorthanded or whatever?" He was like, "Yeah, we're shorthanded." I was like, man, only one person left that line. By the time I got up to the window, y'all, that line was wrapped around McDonald's. I didn't cause a fuss. I didn't say, "Oh my gosh, I've been waiting in this line for hours." Because why would you wait? Why would you wait in the line for 1 hour and 10 minutes and then go up to the window and complain? That don't make no sense. You can ask and see what's going on and then go on about your business, because you can't help what's going on in someone else's establishment, someone else's life or whatever. At least the ones that's working there is working. The establishment is open. It is what it is. They have no control over people calling in, shortages, whatever. That's the company's problem. Now, when it comes to me going to the second window, so the first window, the guy was nice. He was like, "Yeah, we're shorthanded, da da da." I was like, "Okay," and I pull up to the window. I'm thinking I'm gonna get hot, fresh food. No, my food was cold. So I said, the lady was like, "Have a good day." I was like, "Hold on. First, they handed me the drinks. I do not like when they hand me the drinks and there is drink all over the cup. So I asked them if they hand me some paper, some napkins, and they hand me some napkins or whatever, and I wiped it off. So whenever they hand me the food, I checked the food and I was like, hey, this food is cold. For me to be sitting in the line for over an hour and 10 minutes, my food is cold. Man, we just got this out the stuff. I said, I'm gonna hand this back to you, and I want you to feel when someone is waiting in a line for over an hour and 10 minutes, that food better come out piping hot. That means you are cooking. It's taking you forever to cook and all that. You're not making my plate and I'm sitting in line for an hour and a half and that food been sitting there an hour and a half. But I just made it to the window. That don't make no sense. So she was like, I'll just take it back. She had an attitude. Mind you, just like how I am nice to you, be nice to me, because I'm the customer on the other side getting cold food. And I don't like that. When I was on the other side of the line, before I was even able to place my order, I saw 4 people go back in with their bags and they were mad. 4 people. When you are shorthanded, when when things are chaotic, you don't have time for errors, because while you are trying to make other people's food that's in line, you're having to correct food. And with you correcting food right on the spot, it's having you to be behind in the new food that's coming in. So there's no time for errors. And a lot of people don't think of that. And for you to not be considerate, dang, this food is cold. Because I know when she took it back, she was like, dang, she's right. This food is cold. I had her remake it. And I sat there for another 10 minutes. Y'all, this is ridiculous. But like I stated, no one wants a job. At my job, they changed the age to 18. At my part-time, they changed the age to 18 because I think the youngest was 16. They changed it to 18. I think they changed it again as of January. I think they're going to change it again to an older age. A lot of places are moving up to the age of 21 because they want you to be well into adulthood, which I feel like well into adulthood is not, there's not any age, because you have older people that don't even know how to be adults. But yeah, it's like no one wants to work, and the ones that are working are so rude. Anyways, back to the conversation. So the guy was like, we were checking out at Ollie's, and he was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Like, yeah, no one is wanting to work. And I was like, I don't know why, because like me, I have a full time that I work over 40 hours in. This week at Ollie's, I work 31 hours, but I don't believe in the narrative that's going around saying, oh, American jobs are being taken and all that. No one's working. We are hiring sign everywhere. And also companies are not paying. Companies are not paying enough. People are having to work 2-3 jobs. There's a guy that I work with at Ollie's. He has 3 jobs, but he has no kids, no nothing. It's just him, but he has 3 jobs. It's tiring because I'm starting to believe that people are placed here just to work, which is sad. Like, that shouldn't happen. Yes, you need a job to be able to pay for what you need to pay for, but we shouldn't have to run ourselves in the ground to be able to try to accomplish, what we want to accomplish, what we need to accomplish. We shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't have to go in debt doing it. We shouldn't have to go in debt trying to provide or get what we need and want. That shouldn't happen, but it does. It happens to the majority of the people. Majority. Even rich people, even famous people get in debt. So you're not the only one. It's just that more money debt. We over here, we have less money debt. Over there, they have more money debt. But it's still stressful either way you do it. But anyways, I just wanted to come on here and say that, like, if you're working multiple jobs, you shouldn't feel bad about it, because on the other hand, no one's really wanting to work and you're not taking anyone's job. But I am very grateful. My manager knows that at my part-time, because whenever I applied at other places before I applied there, I was just being told that I was overqualified or they couldn't work around my hours or anything like that. And the manager at the store that I work at now, he was like, okay, he hired me on the spot. And I am one of the most dependable ones there. I have never called in. I've called to say I was running a little bit late, but prior to him hiring me, I did say whenever it comes to my part-time job, you want me here at 4, I may come in at 4:30 or 4:45, but I'll be here. I'll be here before the next person leaves. Like, I'll make sure of it. I'm in a meeting, something happened, but I'll be here. I don't have to call for that, but if I know like it's something outside of that, I'm going to call, because I want to make sure that whenever it comes to my reputation there, I want it to stay good. Like, I don't want anybody thinking that she's always late. Well, she's always late because she's coming from that other job, during the week. She was late because she's traveling in from here or there. She's late because she had to go do this, which is rare. It's always because of this job, but I care about my reputation at work, because you never know when you're going to need something. Also, I got this job because, number one, extra money. And then number two, to also get back out there with dealing with people, because being at home, not being on the phones and just working, listening to music and jamming, you kind of lose your social life. I mean, it is what it is. Even though you're with your friends, that's different than going out there and dealing with people and providing customer service and being nice. It's totally different. And so with me, I want to promote within the company that I'm at now. And for me to do that, I need to get my customer skills back up, because being my goal one day is to become an account executive, if it's the Lord's will. And account executives are deal with sales. And I think personally that I would be a great account executive, but I have to gradually get there. I have to get more organized. I have to plan better. And me working at Ollie's, it helps a lot, because I am able to speak to people, deal with different attitudes. But I personally have not dealt with like a rude anybody towards me. But we have like Ollie's Army card that we have to present for those who don't have it. And so I'm doing really good with that. So that's also helping me get back into like my marketing lingo, getting back familiar with dealing with people, and so in person. And it's helped me a lot. It's building up my social confidence, my professionalism, even though it's not really so much there, but it is with me, because I have a goal in my mind, what I want to do. And so I'm using that job as a stepping stone, even though to other people, oh, it's a retail job. It only pays X amount of dollars. And no, people with my mindset, we use it as a stepping stone to get to where we're trying to go. So that's the goal. Anyways, I just had to come on here because that was on my mind. And I just wanted to just chit chat with you all. I haven't posted a video in about a week. I'm trying to get back to doing so, because like I said, this channel is all about growth. If you are new here, welcome. If you are already subscribed, thank you for clicking on this video and tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed this video. It's just a little chit chat, nothing major, just my perspective on, the 2-job thing, and my perspective on people saying they're taking our jobs and so on and leave jobs for the rest of us. Even though I know that that was a joke, just him being, sincere and just saying, dang girl, slow down, in his own way. But at the same time, you get those who say that being rude, because I did have a lady being very jealous and sarcastic, like, how you get 2 jobs, like that. So, and it's just from them overhearing or someone else talking about me, and then they finally meet me or something like that. But I'm just here living for myself and my family. I have goals. That's it. I'm not trying to harm anyone or get in anyone's way or take anyone's job or not leave any jobs for anyone else. I'm just one person in a world full of billions. So just saying. But anyways, y'all have a great day or night. Until next time, y'all. Bye.